हाँ आया को लाइव, चलो
कर दो।
देखते हैं देखते हैं। यू आर लाइव। आता बघूया.
हो गया लाइव।
हो गया. अरे
यस वी आर लाइव यस।
यस वी आर लाइव. ओके. पर देयर विल बी अ लैग ना, अपने को जूम पे देखने का क्या चल रहा है. ठीक है. लोग आपस में बातचीत कर रहे हैं. ऑफ कोर्स अपन लेट कर दिया, कोई बात नहीं. तो शुरुआत करते हैं. सब भक्तजनों का प्रणाम, गुरु जी का धन्यवाद, आप आए शॉर्ट नोटिस पे. ये है एक नया चैनल called Beyond the Laugh. This is just for my podcast and other things which I cannot put with the stand up because चैनल का एवरेज नीचे गिरता है, फिर यूट्यूब गांड मारता है स्टैंड अप का. तो वी आर हियर. इट्स नॉट लाइक आई वांटेड टू डू वन मोर चैनल, बट अभी यही है. वी आर लिविंग बाय द रूल्स ऑफ सोशल मीडिया, तो वी शुड मेक द बेस्ट ऑफ इट. तो थैंक यू जो लोग आए यहाँ पे. I been getting a lot of requests to do more lives and more Q&As, which I don't mind. Of course, time should permit, but otherwise, I don't mind. I like talking to people and answering questions or just listening. But even when you put a live, I've been told by YouTube themselves that if you put a live stream and it does not get enough views, it again fucks with the channel's algorithm. तो अभी एल्गोरिथम ही भगवान है दुनिया का, तो आपको मानना पड़ेगा, है ना. So now on this new channel, I hope that I don't have to follow any of these rules which are like made up or heard or assumed, and I just get to do the things I like doing and which by extension I hope that you guys also appreciate. तो इसी को ध्यान में रखते हुए एक और लाइव Q&A हम कर रहे हैं. पिछली बार 2 बार किए था हमने, आज तक उसका मुझे रिक्वेस्ट आया कि वो आपने हटा क्यों दिया. तो यही है कि वो व्यूज कम आते हैं, नंबर 1, और एक में फिर बहुत ओवर टॉकिंग हो रहा था, देन इट वाज नॉट मेकिंग सेंस टू पीपल हु आर वाचिंग आफ्टर द लाइव हैपेंड. इसको हमने हटा दिया. ये वाला रहेगा कुछ दिनों तक. तो जो लोग आए हैं इन पर्सन, उनको पहली बात तो धन्यवाद. प्रणाम आचार्य जी बोल रहे हैं जेड के साहब. प्रणाम प्रणाम प्रणाम. विल कौतुक एंड बाबा ज्वाइन टुडे? नहीं, आज नहीं. आज हम सोलो ही हैं क्योंकि फिर हम हर क्वेश्चन का जवाब नहीं दे पाते. आज आई विल ट्राई टू आंसर ऑल द क्वेश्चंस सिंस इट्स जस्ट मी ऑन द स्ट्रीम. Jay is asking why I'm not keeping Satsang in playlist. I just answered the question. The channel ka average falls, no, because the stand-up views are in lakhs and the live stream views are in thousands. So then the average goes down. Meme review, सोच रहे थे. There are few memes only which I personally like, which I wanted to share, but I also wanted to talk about right-wing memes because they also have a sense of humor. It's a twisted one, but they do have one. तो शर्ट कहाँ से ली भाई, ऐसा क्यों नहीं होता है. आप पूछ रहे तो गोवा से लिए, ठीक है. आई होप दैट हेल्प्स. असीम माथुर इज हियर. हाय हाय असीम. असीम इज आवर एडिटर जो काफी पेशेंस से हमारा इतना वीडियो एडिट किए हैं. अभी भी एज वी स्पीक न्यू एपिसोड ऑफ बियॉन्ड द लाफ्स इज बीइंग अपलोडेड ऑन दिस चैनल एज वी स्पीक. इट विल बी रिलीज्ड नेक्स्ट वीक. एक बार सब मैसेजेस पढ़ लेते हैं. कौन कौन जो लोग सबसे पहले से आए थे उनके लिए माय अपॉलॉजीज. वी आर ट्राइंग टू फिगर आउट द टेक. थोड़ा हमारा भी आदत चला गया जूम पे ये सब चुटियाल करने का. फर्स्ट कमेंट चेतन का है, बोल रहे भक्तजन भारी संख्या में सत्संग का लाभ लीजिए. देखिए फ्री का माल तो उठाना नहीं चाहिए, है ना. तो लोग बोलते हैं आप पेड करो, ये करो. इतना स्कैम लाइफ में नहीं चाहिए. सिर्फ टिकट है शो का, वो आप ले लो. दैट इज द वन ट्रांजेक्शन आई कैन नॉट डू विदाउट. तो पहले बात करते हैं शो की. सबसे बड़ा शो हो रहा है अगले सैटरडे in Bangalore. I am going to shoot my special No Country for Moderation. If you are in Bangalore or if you have friends in Bangalore, do tell them about this. It's happening on 26th of November. Half the tickets are gone already. It's a beautiful auditorium in Indiranagar. It's called Bangalore International Center. It's going to be a lot of fun. So do come for that. Link is in the description of the stream itself. उसके अलावा कल हम आ रहे हैं देहरादून. चांसेस तो कम है, अगर कोई यहाँ पे है उत्तराखंड से तो देख लीजिए. और वीकेंड हमारा बीतेगा चंडीगढ़ में। चंडीगढ़ कॉमेडी फेस्टिवल हो रहा है, वहाँ की भी कुछ टिकटें बाकी हैं, वहाँ पे सिर्फ हम नहीं है, आधा कॉमेडी सीन आने वाला है। इट्स गोना बी अ ग्रेट शो, सैटरडे एंड संडे इन चंडीगढ़। ऑल्सो नेक्स्ट संडे आई एम इन हैदराबाद, तो काफी महीनों से हैदराबाद नहीं हुआ। आई वांट टू डू अ बिगर शो दिस टाइम। दिस इज ऑन 27th November, next Sunday. That show is going to be gainfully employed. If you've not seen that show in Hyderabad, do come. Robin, hi man, is saying you can do a paid partnership for shirt. अरे 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 इतने बुरे दिन नहीं आए अभी तक। नसीफ नहीं, नफीस इज सेइंग बियॉन्ड द लाफ में चैनल पे ही अपलोड करो, उस पे तो अच्छी व्यूज आते हैं, लेकिन ओवरऑल कंसेंसस इज दैट चैनल का स्टैंड अप इज गेटिंग फक्ड अप, बिकॉज इफ यू बीन फॉलोइंग मी from the beginning, you will know that all the earlier videos had views in millions. Not multiple, but 1-2 million तो था ही। उसके बाद से मिलियन हिट ही नहीं किया। Even one of the most widely shared videos, which is Great Indian Middle Class, वो भी 6 लाख कुछ पे अटका हुआ है, which is a good number, so very good number, but for the number of shares it achieved, that doesn't look like much. If you see the average stand-up video, it's a little below par, I think. Although when I say average stand-up video, I mean like mediocre shit. But that, obviously that gets more views. Not all views are equal, ये बात भी है. But beyond the laughs, I have a vision for it, and I want to take it to different directions in the future. So if I have a channel which is separate and dedicated, I can experiment a lot more with it. So that was the idea. एक बार चेक कर ले, are we still live? Can you guys see me, hear me? If you can, just drop a yes or just a thumbs up in the chat so I can be sure. Robin is saying तीनों शो देख लिए, फोर्थ शो कमिंग आउट एनी टाइम सून। ऑल राइट, गुड क्वेश्चन। बहुत लोग बहुत टाइम से पूछ रहे हैं कि बहुत लोग की ये जो हमारी चारधाम यात्रा हो चुकी है, उन्होंने तीनों शो देख लिया, जो चौथा शो कहाँ पे है? तो चौथा शो है, आधा बन चुका है, लाइक अबाउट 30 minutes आई एम श्योर. I need 30 more minutes at least, and for that I need to get one of these shows out of the way because time नहीं है, 3 शो को मैनेज करना भी मुश्किल होता है. तो thank you guys for confirming. I hope the sound and everything is cool. चौथा शो काम कर रहे हैं उसके ऊपर, बट थोड़ा स्लो है बिकॉज आई गॉट 3 shows. इज डिफिकल्ट टू मैनेज, कीप ऑन कम्युनिकेटिंग टू पीपल कि ये शो अलग है, ये अलग है, ये अलग है. हर शहर में हम 3-3 दिन करते हैं शोज, अलग अलग शो करते हैं. एटलीस्ट बिगर सिटीज, स्मॉलर सिटीज में 3 शो नहीं कर सकते, उतने लोग ही नहीं वहां पे सुनने वाले. तो अगले साल आएगा 4th शो फॉर श्योर. If I have the time, I might even start doing a few trial runs of those shows in the bigger cities in December, maybe. Not promising, but it's coming soon. 4th show. I don't have a name for it yet, but if you have any suggestions for the names, do drop it in the comment. Hardik guys, I think next rule that now that you're here in the live chat, I might as well tell you the next episode that we're releasing is with Nishant Suri, very good comic from Delhi, good friend as well. विनर ऑफ कॉमिक स्टन सीजन 1. काफी आर्टिस्टिक बंदा है, इसलिए दुखी भी रहता है, तो उसको आप देखिएगा अगले हफ्ते. अर्ली नेक्स्ट वीक वी शुड रिलीज इट. अभी आप आ ही गए हो लाइव चैट में, तो बता दीजिए कि व्हाट इज अ गुड डे, अच्छा मुहूर्त क्या है वीडियो रिलीज करने का, बताइए. इज इट वीकडेज, इट इज वीकेंड, इज इट मॉर्निंग, इज इट इवनिंग, व्हाट डू यू गाइस प्रेफर? येडके साहेब, नागपूर आम्ही आलेलो, 1 ही महिना हो गया अभी तो. सो नाउ नेक्स्ट ईयर, पुढच्या वर्षी लवकर या. चिका पिका रिका, ये नाम है भाई साहब का, क्या बात है. यू आर माय सेकंड मोस्ट फेवरेट कॉमेडी अपार्ट फ्रॉम विपुल गोयल. कोई बात नहीं, विपुल से सेकंड आने में कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. कल ही शो था विपुल का बंबई में, आई ओपन फॉर इट, ग्रेट शो एज यूजुअल. विपुल इज जस्ट गोइंग फ्रॉम स्ट्रेंथ टू स्ट्रेंथ. Saturday noon is what Hardik says. 12 p.m. Friday Akshay. Okay, okay. 8 बजे रात को, आई एम अज्यूमिंग जे साहब बोल रहे हैं. Friday 6 p.m. after 6 p.m. works best. Okay, बहुत divided है opinion, but it's good to know. Even if you have different opinions, it helps. So then you know कि कोई एक best time नहीं है. Robin is saying Monday evening. Okay, okay.
Punit,
हाँ,
means that
करते हैं. वीकडे इवनिंग पे कर दो, पीपल आर बिजी इन इवनिंग विद देयर डिवाइस. ये भी है, डिवाइस को तो लोग छोड़ते नहीं हक में भी। तो विपुल के साथ, ओ यस, विपुल के साथ प्रोबेबली जैन में शूट करेंगे। एक्चुअली वी कैन शूट एनी टाइम, बम्बई में ही रहते हैं, बट सोच रहा हूँ कहाँ करें। बस सुन, विपुल के साथ प्लान है ही अपना। सुपर चैट तो यार नहीं, लोग दिल से भेज देते हैं, वो कोई बात नहीं, बट हम कभी मांगे नहीं ना, हम कभी एनकरेज करते हैं, क्योंकि हर बात में पैसा लेके आएंगे फिर बचेगा क्या है। अनमोल बोल रहे हैं, हेलो सर, स्टैंड अप इज वेरी prescient. अरे क्या बात है, you said that censorship will keep increasing and people get offended on jokes on any topic. Recently they got offended on joke on parents. Exactly, आज ही किसी ने हमको टैग किया उसमें। जोक इतना बढ़िया नहीं है ऑब्वियसली, बट दैट डज नॉट मैटर, नो, व्हाट मैटर्स इज इट्स अ जोक। अभी क्या उन्होंने सिर्फ ट्राई किया, ये उनका बीटा टेस्टिंग है कि इसके ऊपर भी लोग भड़क रहे हैं कि अगर भड़क रहे हैं तो फिर नेक्स्ट टाइम थोड़ा और प्रहार करेंगे। तो हमने तो कहा, ये बाबा जी का प्रेडिक्शन सच ही आता है मोस्टली। तो टाइम कम है और कम होते जा रहा है, इसीलिए हम शो भी शूट कर रहे हैं ताकि एक बार डाल तो दें, पता नहीं अगले साल तक यूट्यूब भी बचेगा कि नहीं, जैसा है आजकल वैसा। तो शुरू करते हैं। कुछ कुछ मीम्स है हमारी, जो डैंक मीम्स एज यंगस्टर्स लाइक टू कॉल इट, few from my side. In the meanwhile, if you guys have some of your favorite memes, you can send it in the chat, like a link maybe. We'll take a look at it, and if it is appropriate for family viewing, we shall share it on the screen. Can you do that, Shirish? कर सकते हैं क्या?
हाँ
चैट में से
हाँ,
लेकर।
बस
कूल।
रीड कर देना सब मीम्स,
क्या कर रहे हैं ना?
पढ़ लेना।
हाँ। Don't know if you remember, Tarun is saying I saw a live in Chennai. Oh, Madai, right? Just now came back after watching Kajal in live in Chennai. Small crowd was an awesome set. Oh, great. I do want to come to Chennai again, Tarun, but it's too far away, it's too expensive, and very few people usually come. But I shall try again next year. All right, let's look at the first meme. Shirish shall share the screen for it. Shirish हमारे जेमी हैं, for people who do not know. शेयर हो रहा है?
हाँ हाँ,
ये उन लोगों के मुंह पर तमाचा है जो कहते हैं कि मोदी जी हमेशा कैमरा की तरफ थे। तो वैसे ये मीम आ रहा है हमारे पेज से, आ रहा है, चलता है कॉमेडी के पेज से। देखिए, कोई भेदभाव नहीं है मीम में, फनी है तो हम डाल ही देंगे। वैसे अगर आप नहीं फॉलो करें तो देख लीजिएगा, चलता है, चलता अंडरस्कोर है अंडरस्कोर कॉमेडी। इस पे सब शोज की आती है अपडेट्स, ही मेरे नहीं, बाकी लोगों के भी शो हम ही करवाते हैं, काफी लोगों के। तो लुक इट अप ऑन ऑन इंस्टाग्राम। इट्स अ फनी मीम, बट इट्स लाइक इट्स नॉट फेयर। तो कुछ पहना रही तो भाई नीचे ही देखेंगे, पर अभी ठीक है, बच्चों को मजे आ रहे हैं ये करने में। Let's look at the next one. Oh, गुरु जी के सादर चरण स्पर्श एवं साधुवाद। वाह, क्या आई एम लर्निंग न्यू वर्ड्स टुडे। हिंदू हृदय सम्राट महापंडित एवं महाज्ञानी श्री पुनीत पनिया जी, खड़ी हास्य कला में प्रखर। अच्छा, स्टैंड अप कॉमेडी है, खड़ी, वाह वाह वाह, बहुत मेहनत किया भाई साहब। और क्या को अनेक स्वर्ण खेल बटन मिलने पर, अच्छा, उनके स्वर्ण खेल बटन मिलने पर
बहुत
बहुत
बहुत बताई।
वाह 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 वाह।
बेसिकली आपको जब यूट्यूब प्ले बटन मिला था।
हाँ, ये मेरा यूट्यूब प्ले बटन था, गोल्ड बटन मिलता है, उसके बाद कुछ नहीं मिला, बस गोल्ड मिला। आई थिंक गोल्ड के बाद शायद 5 लाख पे मिलता है ना, कुछ क्या मिलता है, प्लेटिनम मिलता है, मैं तो पता भी नहीं मेरे को, पर आता है कुछ तो, प्लेटिनम प्लूटोनियम जो भी आता है आगे। अपने को गोल्ड मिला वही बड़ी बात है। तो हमने जो जनता को जो गोल्ड अफोर्डेबल है वो दिखा के फोटो लिए थे, तभी किसी ने उसका भी मीम बना दिया। और जस्ट लुक एट द डिग्नेटरीज नो ऑन द पोस्टर। एक तो स्वयं सुप्रीम लीडर है, फिर बीच में गोवलकर जी है ना, जो आइडियोलॉजिकल लीडर ऑफ राइट विंग इन इंडिया, एंड द थर्ड वन आई थिंक इट इज अ ग्रीक फिलोसोफर, ऑल्दो आई एम नॉट श्योर वो कौन। I guess it is Pluto, or I don't know, or it could be from, I don't know. Okay, but it looks very funny. और उसका font, उसका सब कुछ जो भी color scheme है एकदम spot on है. नीचे लिखा है पुनीत पनिया ट्रोल विशेषज्ञ. अरे अरे. This meme gets full marks. और by the way, just in case you guys do not know, जो टीका लगाया माथे पर भी हमने नहीं किया, वो भी मीम मेकर नहीं बनाया है, तो फुल मार्क्स. आई हैड फॉरगॉटन अबाउट दिस मीम. आई थिंक ये शेयर करना चाहिए, आज करते हैं. शीरीष ये मुझे डीएम करना डालते हैं. रक्षित अग्रवाल ने बनाया था ये मीम काफी टाइम पहले. कब का था ये? गोल्ड बटन ना तो नहीं,
2020.
हाँ 20 में. 2 साल हो गया अपने को, दो गोल्ड बटन को है. 2 साल में चैनल के सिर्फ 30,000 फॉलोअर बढ़े हैं. ठीक है, टाइम टू रिटायर. आई हैड फॉरगॉटन अबाउट दैट. लेट्स सी व्हाट द कमेंट्स से ऑन यूट्यूब. स्टोइक फिलोसोफर विद गुरुजी. Shubhankar is saying his personal meme Boga is Hrithik Roshan dancing with Joaquin Phoenix. तो कहो ना प्यारे, ये कौन
ये आपने डाला सही.
Oh man, ये कौन सा मीम है? प्लूटो. अरे प्लूटो, प्लेटो. प्लेटो, चलो प्लेटो. ग्रेट. हम ज्यादा नहीं पढ़े, हम ईस्टर्न ज्यादा पढ़ते, फिलोसॉफी वेस्टर्न नहीं पढ़ते. बट थैंक यू फॉर योर करेक्शन.
Next one.
नेक्स्ट वन. ओके. अरे, your crush is coming at natural. तो यार, is this a real photo, श्रीश? ये
हाँ, ये एक्चुअल फोटो.
तो फोटो भी पूरा यानी फोटोशॉप लग रहा है ना? नहीं है भाई को शौक तो काफी है, बट बड़े बड़े शौक है. यानी पहले मोर था, फिर बतख आ गया, अब चीते भी है भाई के पास. I really want to know, like the cutter right winger, they must be getting offended by this also. I mean, this is just good fun, right? It's harmless fun. इसमें भी लोग को पता नहीं, but it is funny for sure. ऐसे भाई अपने हैं भी बैचलर. करते हैं 2-3 और करते हैं, then we can move on maybe to the Q&A. And if anybody wants to share their memes, their favorite ones. अरे this is a मोदी जी मीम फेस्ट यार. क्या और कोई है कि नहीं अपने पास?
अरे तो
यार ये थोड़ा ज्यादा हो गया. आई थिंक इसने जानबूझ के किया है ये लाइव स्ट्रीम. दिस इज ड्यूरिंग कोरोना, राइट? कोरोना के टाइम पे होगा ये.
हाँ.
क्योंकि भाई तो मास्क नहीं पहनता ना, भाई इज इम्यून. तो I am from BJP IT cell. They are not giving me salary for 3 months, so I dislike the video. It might be true. No? If you had written 2 rupees, then I would have thought कि कोई troll कर रहा है. But this could be true. सुहानी अमारी, उस पे 178 लाइक्स भी आए थे स्क्रीनशॉट लेने के टाइम पे.
कैप्शन देखो.
अच्छा, once a lady, कैप्शन है ये. Once a lady called me and asked me to port to Vodafone while I was on. अरे हमारा ही लाइन है, हम भूल के. This actually happened. This is like it is telecalling singularity, where they call you to buy the same product you're already buying, because unemployment historically has been high in this country. It's just that now unemployed people feel vindicated because they're saving the culture through WhatsApp forwards. Very good. देखते हैं, एक दो और देखते हैं, then we can end. पुराना है ना, कितना 107 वीक लिखा है, काफी पुराना है. What month was this? Munna Tripathi light. Well, the funny part is he looks similar, isn't he?
Yeah.
Or maybe he has one of those common faces, like, because many people tell that he looks like Akash Mehta also. And they are both rich. There's one more similarity वहाँ पे. मुन्ना त्रिपाठी लाइट. वैसे मिर्जापुर में भी FIR काफी हो चुके हैं, तो कोई सेफ नहीं है ये देश में. But and by the way, the guy who called him a penguin also he actually went to jail, right? The guy went to jail because he called him a penguin. It's just that Well, it is funny. Saying anything with penguins is funny for some reason. But apparently, penguins are kind of very violent animals. We just think they're cute, just like ducks. शुभांगी सिंह जोकर वाला मीम डीएम किया है. अच्छा, चेक करें क्या? रुकिए 1 मिनट. ये कौन सा है? आपने चलता है पे क्या ये मीम? अच्छा, चलता है पे ही है. ये देखो तो ये अगर 19 का है. रुको, मैं चलता है को डीएम करता हूँ. देखना श्रीज आया क्या? इसमें दिखता नहीं है कितने लोग आ गए. आई थिंक इस न्यू चैनल तो इसमें वो फीचर नहीं है. हाउ मेनी पीपल आर जॉइंड इन लाइव, डू वी नो?
41 दिख रहा है.
ओके, नॉट बैड फॉर न्यू चैनल. Also, last call, if anybody wants to share a meme here in the chat, I'll be glad to share it with the whole group, and then we can move on to a quick Q&A. Hey, sharing पे चल रहा है? हाँ, आ गया.
ये अभी मीम हमने इकट्ठा करके रखे.
अच्छा, ये किस बेड पे लगाने के लिए कुछ है क्या? किसान This had come during the protest, no, by the farmers. And the way propaganda works is that kisan itself had become a bad word. कि किसान बोला तो ज्यादा ही बोलेगा एंटी नेशनल, टेररिस्ट, खालिस्तानी. But that time the meme made sense. अब थोड़ा पुराना हो गया, but yeah, she's still alive. She's over 100, right? Her age is 100 plus, isn't it? And she's still mobile. वो भी इंडिया गेट के पास है, ग्रैंड थेफ्ट ऑटो, which kind of makes sense. So this is all on Chalta Hai comedy page on Instagram. Look it up. There are show updates and we share some dank stuff. Shri says, anybody gone to jail for sharing a dank meme in India? हुआ होगा ना कहीं तो.
ऐसा तो नहीं.
Well, there were riots in Bangalore at one point, but I think that was पता नहीं क्या था वो. तो उसको फिर meme आप, you can't call it a meme at that stage when people are just putting religious stuff for inciting each other. तो वो तो नहीं करना चाहिए. Although if you ask a comedian, there should be no restrictions on communication at least. And if it's just words, you can't hurt people with words, but apparently you can. And even politicians use words, no? But then the gundas follow up with actions. So that's how it works. एक वो देखते हैं कहो ना प्यार वाला, फिर बंद करते हैं.
वो दिखा दिया.
Dude, जोकर वाला मीम तो जबरदस्त है. उसमें anything you put in, it just seems funny. I shared one last week where he's going about his dance, which is an iconic scene in the movie. और पीछे मोदी जी खड़े ऐसे चश्मा लेके. तो क्या दिक्कत है? And taken this photograph from when he is watching his own putla in the wax museum. That's what makes it funnier. वो खुद के पुतले को देख रहा है, वो इसके पीछे डाल दिया, जोकर के पीछे. बट एक जोकर बनता है इंडिया में भी, एक जोकर होना मांगता है. क्या बोलते हो आप लोग? मुंबई में, दिल्ली में बन सकते हैं. With the show getting cancelled, of course, it was again unfortunate, and this will just keep going on and on. Like he said, number one, there's nothing he has said which is like legally which falls in hate speech or anything. FIR अभी लोगों ने किया है, but वो क्या FIR है? National interest है, कुछ तो बोल के कर दिया है. And the police also listens to this. Best part was a Goa-based extremist group filed the FIR in Bangalore. So people are expanding out there. This is a new business. The startups all over the country and they try to get into each other's territory. So I'm sure that a lot of local groups must have been disappointed that they got beaten to the punch by an outside community. But okay, it's all for a good cause, I guess. Nation building.
एक दो मीम और देखते हो?
एक दो मीम चलो, जेमी बोल रहे तो एक दो मीम और. Please do not use religion to make jokes. Religion should only be used to get worse. Yes. Sometimes the simplest way of saying things is the best way. और यही हो रहा है, लोगों को समझता नहीं है फिर भी. Not use religion to make jokes. वैसे आज ही somebody mentioned in the comments also. हमारी दोस्त है पंजाब से, उनका शशि करके हैं कॉमिक, उनका जोक है माँ बाप के ऊपर कि मैं दिमाग की चॉइस को इतना मानती नहीं क्योंकि मैंने अपने पिताजी को देखा है. ठीक है, इट्स नॉट अ बैड जोक, कम ऑन. यू माइट आर्ग्यू कि लाफ आया नहीं आया, डिलीवरी ये वो, बट दो उससे क्या फर्क पड़ता है? आपके पापा क्या गया, उसका चैनल है, उसका वीडियो है. बट ऑफ कोर्स ही प्रोसीड्स टू लाइक नो एक्सप्लेन दैट फादर इज अगली, लाइक हियर हैरी ईयर्स और सम शिट, ऐसा कुछ है ना, ऐसा ही कुछ जोक है. तो इस पे भी आ गया राइट विंग का कि देखिए ये हैं कॉमेडियंस, एंड द थिंग इज दैट they utilize every opportunity, to score points. तो जैसे अभी ये जो दिल्ली वाला हो गया, मर्डर तो क्या ही बोलेंगे, इट वाज लाइक जस्ट इनडिस्क्राइबेबल, लाइक द गाय कट दैट गर्ल into 35 pieces. Now that is being used not just for religious isolation but also to say that यही होता है. देखिए हमने आपको पहले कहा था लव मैरिज में यही होता है, बहुत मॉडर्न बनोगे तो यही होगा. So it's a big consortium of everything which is conservative, and then every opportunity they get, they'll score points like that. So now with this video, which I'm talking about the comic that has been tagged today, उसमें now they're saying देखिए ऐसे होते हैं इनके संस्कार, जो बहुत लिबरल बनते हैं ना, जो लड़कियां बहुत मॉडर्न बनती हैं वो ऐसी ही होती हैं, और एक कमेडियन भी ऐसे ही होते हैं, ये लिबरल लोग भी ऐसे ही होते हैं, सबको मारो. So it's dangerous, the way it is used to link random stuff together, and in the end, it's always the women and the minorities who get the brunt of it. No? So like there are some memes recently after the same Delhi murder where it says that what happens when you marry Hindu guy? So she's cooking in the kitchen, and what happens when you marry a Muslim guy? She's in a briefcase. तो कुकिंग तो करना पड़ेगा कम से कम ना. That's what it is saying. This Mujahid Sheikh, I mean probably it is his words, but a good one, simple but a good meme. One more maybe.
टाइमिंग है मीम का.
अरे that's a personal attack. Like I was like talking to you in person. No? But this is such a great line. This works for everything. Like no matter what you're talking about a space launch. आप ज़्यादा जानते हैं मोदी जी से. Talking about economics, क्या आप ज़्यादा जानते हैं मोदी जी से. Hey, but this meme is from what film is this from? Do you know?
3 Idiots.
Ah, 3 Idiots. Okay. This guy is a very good actor though. I don't know if you know that he's a very popular person on the memes. All right, next. और कोई है कि नहीं लीडर ये कंट्री में कि यही है?
अरे इसमें मेहता ने भी कमेंट किया है, देखो.
As a common man, I joined the protest against crackdown on freedom of speech. I've changed my DP. सबको सहमति दे भगवान. GOI ब्लॉक. ये कोई पुराना होगा? ओह 12 का है, 2012 का. No one trolls PM Modi better than CM Modi. Exactly. ऐसा तो बहुत आ गया ना. When petrol prices were high, when gas prices were high, even in rape cases, you will see the same leader, Sushma Swaraj, तो अब नहीं रही वैसे, बट स्मृति ईरानी, ये सब लोग हल्ला बोल रहे हैं रास्ते पे प्रोटेस्टिंग अगेंस्ट रेप केस, बट व्हेन इट हैपेंस नाउ नथिंग. कुछ भी मैं कमेंटेड बैक इन द डे, बट ये बहुत पुराना है ये. And it will keep getting funnier as the time goes on because CM Modi will never change, but PM Modi keeps changing.
आपने वीडियो बंद किया है क्या?
वीडियो बंद है? अच्छा एक ओके सॉरी. देखते हैं चैट में क्या चल रहा है। शुभम मंडल सिंह, मैंने ऑफिस से छुट्टी ली थी वीर के शो के लिए। अरे वो सैटरडे को ऑफिस भी था आपका, वो शो कभी था, वीकेंड नहीं होता शो वैसे तो। What is your view on 8 million population economics? ठीक है, I'll take the questions, just एक दो और then we'll get to the questions. Is an appearance on Kumar Varun's quiz on the cards? अक्षय नहीं, मेरा इंटरेस्ट नहीं है क्विज में। गूगल की दुनिया में क्विज थोड़ा मुझे बचकाना लगता है ना, कि हर बात आपको गूगल बता देता है ना, ऑलमोस्ट हर बात, इंक्लूडिंग आपको कैंसर है कि नहीं। तो तो नॉट माय इंटरेस्ट है। इवन चेस नॉट माय इंटरेस्ट है। मैंने स्टार्टेड, एक बार समय ने मेरे को बहुत स्टार्टिंग में बोला था, भाई आप आओगे क्या? मैं बोला मैं खेला ही नहीं बचपन से चेस। बहुत लोग चेस खेल रहे हैं प्रेशर में आके, हम प्रेशर में नहीं आते हैं। Idolizing a partisan is like believing the stripper really likes. Oh, one of the best. I think ये वापस शेयर करना पड़ेगा। Idolizing a politician is like believing the stripper likes you. Beautiful. It covers everything. और ये अनेक मीम हमने भेजे हमारे स्कूल के व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में, तो वो नहीं सुधरते क्योंकि उनको लगता है कि खतरे में है वो तो। As a recent video of some again extremist group, बंदा तलवार बेच रहा है, देखा आपने? 2-3 दिन पहले आया है, वो बकायदा बोल रहा है ये तलवार है, ये आपके घर पे होम डिलीवरी होगी, इसका इतना प्राइस है, ये इसका लिंक है, ये मेरा नंबर है, और हर हिंदू अपने घर पे एक एक तलवार रखी है। और देन इट गोस ऑन टू से कि मैंने इसकी सूचना होम मिनिस्ट्री को और पीएमओ को भी दे दी है। यानी क्या कॉन्फिडेंस है कि बंदे का। ऊपर से बोल रहे हैं एनसीआर में चार्ज कम लगेगा, पूरा टेली शॉपिंग चल रहा है उसका, वहाँ पे पर वो तलवार बेच रहे हैं। तो ये भी जब भी हम शेयर करते हैं लोगों से जो राइट विंग है, दे आर स्टिल अपोलोजेटिक, नहीं, दिस इज अ फॉल्स इक्विवेलेंस। ये एक नया वर्ड सीखा है लोगों ने। तो इक्विवेलेंस ये है फॉल्स की, एटलीस्ट तलवार बेच रहे हैं, ठीक है, वो किसी का गला काटा नहीं ना अभी तक, जब काटेगा तब बात करेंगे, then it will not be a false equivalence. It will be too late by then, but it doesn't matter. So this is a great line. I don't know if it's an original line by, it doesn't look like it, Lorenzo Mosley, but जिसने भी लिखा है उसको सलाम हमारी तरफ से। If somebody knows where the quote is from, I would really appreciate it if you can tell me where this is from. And if you want to look these memes up and you can go to again Chalta_hey_comedy at Instagram. Papa, no hospitals, no beds, no oxygen, no medicine. And you still support Modi ji? Oh no. कैप्शन भी सही है। कैप्शन है तुम ही बोल दो सीरीज, कैप्शन क्या है?
सख्त अंधभक्त।
Shakt Anubhakt. It has a ring to it. Someone messaged me saying that there are already people after the Morbi tragedy who are saying that even if our relative had died in it, I would still not blame the government. इसके बाद कुछ बचा नहीं. It is a point of no return. No return. एंड द एग्जाम्पल गिवन वाज कि बहुत लोग जाते हैं पिलग्रिमेज पे ना भगवान के दर्शन करने, वो कभी कभी नहीं लौटते हैं, कुछ कुछ हो जाता है बीच में, थोड़ी हम कंप्लेन करते हैं। यानी ये हो ही गया, अभी खत्म है, इसके बाद आप क्या ही आर्ग्यू करोगे। एंड lot of families lost their loved ones in the pandemic. Lot of people in Gujarat as well, no? The हालत खराब था वहां पे भी, and you could see the lines of 100 ambulances outside a hospital, and when you would tally the number of people that were declared dead the next day, it did not match. Visually, it did not match. You could see that many bodies coming out and going to the crematorium, and still, आएगा तो चुटिया भी। Next one. Government of India decided to cancel the 12th CBSE board exams. After extensive consultations, we have taken a decision that is student-friendly, one that safeguards the health as well as future of our youth. तो नीचे भाई साहब लिख रहे हैं, सर फेयरवेल तो करा दो और 12th बी वाली नेहा को साड़ी में God, there is some hope in the young generation, but the thing is ये लोग कभी वोट नहीं करेंगे साले, तो क्या ही कर सकते हैं, ट्रोल कर देंगे. There was a time when he would go on this Man Ki Baat, which is his Beyond the Laughs, and he would go live on YouTube. और सब बच्चे गुस्से में थे कि एग्जाम कैंसिल करना है, ये करना वो करना है, तो they would all put dislikes. So they removed the dislike button from their channel at least. I think you can do that. Never thought about it myself. And then they disabled the chat also. क्योंकि chat में लोग इतनी मार रहे थे.
I think उसके बाद ही YouTube ने वो number of dislikes दिखाना बंद कर दिया.
हाँ, actually YouTube itself, yeah, but then that's a conspiracy theory. You never. तो बच्चों ने कान तो बहुत मारा, यानी पूरे स्ट्रीम में. आई वुड समटाइम्स, क्योंकि लॉकडाउन में काम था नहीं, आई वुड जस्ट कीप गोइंग एंड चेकिंग द कमेंट्स एंड दे वर हिलेरियस कमेंट. क्या क्या बोल रहा था उसके कमेंट के अंदर. कोई बोल रहा है सर काउंटर स्ट्राइक खेलने का आओगे क्या, एक आदमी कम पड़ रहा है. When you teach your uncle how to pay bills online and he replies, ये सब मोदी जी का कमाल है. See, you would hope that this amount of propaganda works both ways. Like often people say कि no, people blame Modi ji for everything, no, and it's not, he's not at fault. A lot of times it is state government, it is something out of his control, which is true. बट आप किसी को इतना बड़ा दिखाओगे भगवान बना के हर जगह पे उसी का नाम चल रहा है, तो फिर ब्लेम भी आएगा ना, विच इज नॉट ऑलवेज फेयर, बट ब्लेम विल कम. बट बिकॉज ऑल ऑफ मीडिया इज कॉम्प्रोमाइज, ऐसे अंकल और पैदा हो रहे हैं. आई वाज होपिंग कि करंट जनरेशन ऑफ अंकल डाइज एंड देन देयर विल बी इंप्रूवमेंट. ऐसा नहीं है, मेरे जनरेशन के लोग ऑलरेडी अंकल बन चुके हैं, तो ये चलता रहेगा आगे भी. बट दिस किड्स एक्सप्रेशन इज सो स्पॉट ऑन. अजीब चूत. एक बार कमेंट दे, श्रद्धालु लोग क्या बोल रहे हैं. व्हाट इज योर व्यू. एक ठीक है, ये क्वेश्चन आई विल कीप इट इन माइंड. येडके साहब का कुणाल कामरा है क्या, क्वेश्चन मार्क. आई गेस ही आस्किंग इफ आई एम कुणाल कामरा. नो, क्लियरली आई एम अ डिफरेंट पर्सन. भाई ये स्ट्रीम प्राइवेट मत करना. हाँ ठीक है, देखते हैं, कुछ दिन तो रहेगा ही. दादा ईशान हियर एक्सेप्ट नमस्ते. ठीक है, नमस्ते नमस्ते सर. करना और श्रीश की विल गो टू द Q&A. कितना
2-3 ही बाकी है. और
अच्छा ठीक है, फ्यू मोर फ्रॉम द वर्ल्ड. आदमी जो बहुत लंबा फेंक सकता है नीरज. ये हमारे दोस्त की ये मीम, रोहित सेन इज अ वेरी गुड कॉमिक फ्रॉम हैदराबाद, who still does a day job also, by the way. But you should look him up on Instagram. He has some very good reels, and he is also very good at impersonation. In fact, he does a very good Punit Pania also, which I thought was not possible because I don't feel I have a very distinctive or I don't know, maybe I do. But Swain can do a very good impersonation. So can Gaurav Gupta, by the way. वो करता नहीं because I'm not big enough to get views from. So anyway, how you respect? ठीक है, वो comment. Smoking causes impotence. I hope you guys understand this meme. So apparently different facts have different facts that will scare you about smoking. Like how on paperboard, no, you get नीचे अलग अलग आता है सुविचार. If you turn paperboard upside down, नीचे उसका आता है एक one line आता है. वैसे सिगरेट में भी आता है ना, collectible, no, collect all the tazos वैसा. तो भाई को इम्पोर्टेंस वाला मिला, उसको लगा कि ये गलत है, मुझे कैंसर हो गया. I of course in no way support smoking, nor do I do it myself, but it's fucking funny. ये क्या विजय ने खुद किया है क्या. रोनाल्डो इज फाइनली बैक होम. SBI बोला तू कभी आ रहा है पहले वो बता. It's clearly photoshopped किया हुआ है, but it would be funny if they at least if State Bank had a sense of humor, this would be a different country, but they clearly don't. What I really enjoy is when Malia comes to watch, match लॉर्ड्स पे, तो वहां पे सब पब्लिक उसको चोर चोर बोलते हैं, गाली भी देते होंगे, मजा आता होगा. दैट्स द लीस्ट यू कैन डू, नो, लीस्ट जस्टिस पॉसिबल. कहते हैं मुंह पे उसको लवड़िया बोल के आया जाए. बट अगेन ही इज अ पर्सन दैट वी नो अबाउट. लॉट ऑफ पीपल ऐसे ही स्टडी पढ़ोगे सुमड़ी में. अभी देखिए जिसने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट लिया था ब्रिज का, अजंता वाला, भी तो फरार है आदमी, अभी नेपाल पहुंच गया अपेरेंटली. हम अभी तक नेपाल जा नहीं पाए प्लान करके भी. President of India, congratulations to Avni Lekra for winning the bronze and becoming the first Indian woman to win 2 medals at Paralympics. This is an outstanding feat at such a young age. Your consistency and commitment to succeed. बहुत बड़ा बड़ा लिखा, इंस्पिरेशन, बेस्ट विशेष. नीचे लिखा प्रेसिडेंट बेबी. This could be real, right? Because these accounts have no shame. Obviously, that's why they're in the business. But these accounts are everywhere. They're following me also on Twitter for no reason. Stress buster, अरे वो भी कर्वी ब्रैकेट के अंदर. प्रेसिडेंट बेबी, अब ये डूड, ये शीरीष क्या बोलता है? ये दिस मस्ट बी फोटोशॉप, ना?
नहीं नहीं, ये तो 100% रियल होगा.
कोविंद क्या नाम था इनका, चले गए ये तो अभी. बट प्रेसिडेंट आई थिंक अब्दुल कलाम छोड़ के किसी ने ऐसा कुछ किया ही नहीं कि याद भी रहे अपने को. दैट्स व्हाई दे कॉल्ड रबर स्टैम्प्स. बट this meme speaks for itself. I can't say much. Okay. WhatsApp a screenshot of Indira ji's profile. Can't talk, emergency only. Comment by Modi ji का है, can't do press conference, मन की बकवास only. That's also funny. Like किया जाए. Very good. Right wing meme, finally. I was waiting for this. So, बाबू देख रहे हैं, हिंदुस्तान हार्ड डिस्क का पार्टीशन किया. Oh man, that's funny. That's really funny. That's the point of humor. You may not agree with it, but it is still funny. What is the fucking problem?
Public का comment.
This is disappointing. This wasn't his first choice, and this is a joke in bad taste. Yes. See, it's still a joke. But you can do a joke because the Bapu himself was non-violent. No, let me put it that way. Teacher, if you aren't interested in the class, you can please leave. I will give you attendance. Backbenches. Sabko pranam. But this is a great photograph. Just right there. The perfect timing. हम तो फकीर आदमी है. So for people who are not aware, Junjunwala Saab job nahi rahe. One of the greatest investors. He is a character in Scam 92 also, right? He's one of the real world characters, no? The other guy who tries to take over. वो ये नहीं है ना कि दूसरा कोई है?
पता नहीं.
अरे, I forgot I'm talking to Zen Z person. Sorry.
Yes.
Anyway, Junjunwala was one of the biggest investors in the stock market, and when he met Modi ji in person, look at the shirt he was wearing, and लोगों ने comment किया, पूछा भी. एक इंटरव्यू में नहीं सर यार मैं ध्यान नहीं देता ये सब, है ना, मैं तो सिर्फ पैसे का नहीं, हमारी ऑब्जेक्टिव है व्हाटएवर, व्हिच इज फाइन. बट लुक एट द नेक्स्ट फोटोग्राफ, डूड. But I think Modi is अच्छा, but even if I ever get to meet him, which is not like a bucket list item, but I would at least wear decent, I don't know. Anyway, he's earned so much money that he can tell fuck you to everybody, so might as well. And now man is no more, so rest in peace anyway. अरे थोड़ा डायरेक्ट हो गया ज्यादा, लफड़ा शुरू करके बीच में भाग जाने वाले लौटने. I don't get the language. Is it Kurla language? What is this, dude? Shirish?
अंधेरी वेब shit posting page का language.
अच्छा, shit posting का है.
ये तो हो गया.
अच्छा, समझ आती कि दूसरा वॉइस किसका है. नहीं, वो कामरा नहीं, वो हमारा ही दोस्त है, शिरीष नाम है उनका. but he never seen on screen because he's our Jimmy. So do more planned YouTube lives, या अनप्लान मिस हो जाता है. प्लान्ड थोड़ा कमिटमेंट वाला इश्यू है, पर करेंगे. डिसफंक्शनल इज सेइंग. ओके, है कुछ और? अच्छा है, चलो. Rajesh found true love just a week before his student visa expired. I get the joke, but obviously the photo is not TLC का photo, but there must be some game show, right? This must be some dating kind of a game show. अरे कमेंट में ये भी हो गया बॉडी शेमिंग. देखिए तो रिप्लाई आया क्या उसको, हर्षिता को? कमेंट में. सर दैट्स व्हाई इट इज फनी. रिस्ट्रिक्टेड है क्या? क्या हो गया? ऐसा क्या कर दे बहन? देखे देखना क्या क्या है कमेंट. डेरोगेटरी प्लेस. अरे मैडम बहुत बुरा मान गई. ओके, वन मोर पर्सन इज अग्रीइंग विथ हर्ष. ओके, व्हाई नॉट. बट यार फनी तो है, यही तो होता है. असली प्यार वही है जो वीजा दिला के था आपको टाइम पे. निर्मला सीतारमण डॉस रस्टी ब्राउन साड़ी फॉर हर फोर्थ बजट प्रेजेंटेशन. Oh God, my God, what's wrong with media? Budget not MTV Music Award. But this is not even surprising anymore. क्या चुतिया. This is when she had said कि इस बार we'll have a बही खाता, not a budget. Like one more attempt to, I don't know, saffronize, or the word they use for English-speaking people is decolonize. It's like a medical treatment, no, of your colon. But Bahi Khata, to be fair, is just an accounts book that traders have of incoming and outgoing. It's not a budget of a fucking country. No, with some words is okay. You have to use. There are words which are Hindi, which are not part of that language. Some of their words we use now. So we have to fucking move on with life. It's all petty bullshit. Rusty brown sari. This is a good one. I remember this one. Donkey used to carry 60 kg uphill. Owner increased weight to 120. This is about petrol prices for people who don't get it. Let's look at the comments once before we come back here. कितने लोग हैं अभी लाइव पे श्रीश?
46.
ठीक है, कंसिस्टेंट है, कोई बात नहीं. चलो एक क्या करें, और बाकी है?
एक या दो ही होगा मैक्स अभी.
चलो कर देते हैं. लेट्स डू इट. Stand up comedians to audience when they don't have content. Say your name.
Any Gujjus in the house.
Any Gujju जिंदा. वैसे पता है एक वो शर्मा जी के लड़के वाले तो उसने तो किया ही एक जो काफी वायरल हो गया रील, नो, अबाउट कॉमिक्स टॉकिंग टू द ऑडियंस मेंबर्स. फिर बहुतों ने किया है वैसा. लाइक नो इंट्रो. अभी आप सोचो अगर कंटेंट क्रिएटर आपकी गांड मार रहा है तो देन यू हैव टू इंट्रोस्पेक्ट, नो, कि अगर ये आपको ट्रोल कर सकता है और लेजिट ट्रोल कर सकता है, then we should think about. I was also thinking कि क्या ही बात कर सकते हैं. if you're talking to a stranger, आपका नाम क्या, आप कहाँ से आए हो, क्या काम करते हो, साथ में कौन है, और क्या क्या खाना खाया, क्या बोलेगा. और देन वंस दे आंसर यू कैन गो टू डिफरेंट डायरेक्शन. बट क्यों करना है? जोक लिख के लाओ, खत्म करो. सो just to put a record straight, no? Sometimes now when new comics they are opening for me, they say sir चलेगा ना क्राउड वर्क किया तो. हमें चलेगा डूड. कोई कंपलसरी है या कोई रूल ऐसा नहीं है. तो जस्ट आई हैड टू पॉइंट आउट कि बहुत भी हम ओवरडू कर रहे हैं इस चीज को. So of course crowd work is part of the whole game. All of us have done it at one point because all of us started out hosting shows, you know, in the beginning, all the comics, and they're all very good at it also. And even I do it sometimes if there's some disturbance in the room to address it. या कोई लेट आया उसको बिठाया, बीच में किसी ने कुछ बोल दिया उसको एड्रेस किया, थोड़ा बहुत ठीक है. But that can't be the entire show, no? And another thing is कि if you keep doing it, no, तो क्या होता है कि लोग अलग अलग आते हैं पर आपका इंटरेक्शन और जवाब सेम ही होता है. तो अगर आप कोई क्राउड वर्क वाला शो है जो पूरा शो में क्राउड वर्क ही होता है, उस आप 2-3 बार अटेंड करो, आपको समझ आएगा कि सब कुछ सेम ही है. बिकॉज यू कैन हेल्प इट. people are not that interesting as they think they are. No, the replies they give are mostly within a category or 2, 3 or 4 responses, और फिर वही आता है हर बार. तो कॉमिक का भी फिर दिमाग उसमें सेट हो जाता है कि ये आएगा, ये बोलेगा, ये रिप्लाई करेगा और लोग हंसेंगे. तो एक्चुअली सेम माय नेम वुड हैव बीन फनीयर, बट एनीवे. ये क्या बुक माय शो?
I think we are done.
We're done. All right, we're done for the day. I think we will do one more for right-wing memes. No, I want to explore that part of the internet a little more. But thank you, Shirish, for that. I think I'll take some questions, if any. Then we'll call it a night after that. धन्यवाद गांव वालों, आप आए और आप रुके 1 घंटे के लिए. I'll just go through the questions and then we can call it a night. I remember there was one question about by. In case I missed the question of yours, if you could just paste it again in the comments, it will be great. Okay, yeah, ये रहा. Punit, what is your view on 8 billion population? Economists estimating it will go beyond 10 billion in next 30, 40 years. It is a problem, obviously. But China has been where we were, right? And they implemented the two-child policy very strictly, and now their population is going down. So mathematically, what happens is, as large as the population is, in 2 generations with enough education and development, the fertility rate drops drastically, and that we have seen across the world. Like it's irrefutable. Every country, when industrialization happens in the beginning, with industries going up, population goes up because now suddenly jobs, money, food is available. But then it drops because then education levels also go up. And then with that, people automatically start having fewer kids. And if you see now, Japan and Europe and even Russia, it is going down. So Putin is also now encouraging people to have more kids. So it is a problem in India because there's more mouths to feed, and obviously, obviously लोग ट्रोल करते हैं उसे को बस क्योंकि कनेक्शन फ्री हैं इतने नेट के. Even if it goes to 10 billion, I think it's still okay if it plateaus after that. And hoping that by that time the economy is still in the positive, all said and done. If it still grows in the next 4-5 years, we should be okay. But also what matters is कि ये 2 billion कहाँ पे add हो रहा है ना? ये add हुआ cow belt में ही, which is already proving costly for the country. So there is something which is called delimitation, which is when the population of constituency goes beyond a certain point. You have to break the constituency into smaller parts. That has been happening historically, and now it's going to happen again in UP and Bihar because they just keep producing more people, and then they will have even more seats in the parliament. So they already do, but they will have even more representation in the parliament while paying not nearly enough taxes and revenue compared to the southern states, which is not fair at all. And then what happens is a very regressive, conservative, North Indian patriarchy gets imposed on the entire country. We are seeing that. All parties target UP election because they know you win there, you win big, you probably win the entire country. So you just have to make those people happy. What about the other states? Like what about Maharashtra, one of the most industrialized states in the country? Also largely right wing, but they do different at least than the cow belt. What about South? What about the Northeast? We don't get equal say. So that is the problem of population. Like demographic dividend hai, but that is only for the majoritarian politicians, not for anybody else. Idea for Beyond the Laugh with right-wing Punit Pania. Create an avatar of yours with right-wing inclination, but serious, not a comic creative, not a fundamentally just right-wing. It's an interesting idea, But the thing is, the discourse in India is not nuanced enough for that to exist. So first of all, I will not do it because it's just too much work and doesn't make sense to me. The person I am, I want to just be myself. But if someone were to do it, and the problem is that if you are just right wing, ideologically, it will not be enough, right? You will get attacked by the right wing itself. Like there is a film called Hindutva streaming directly on Z, and by the looks of it and that title itself, it seemed like सब फॉर्मूला उसके अंदर है. लाइक ना दो यंगस्टर्स हैं जो कॉलेज के यूनियन के लीडर हैं और दे आर rivals and they're fighting. Obviously, one is Hindu, one is Muslim. And the Muslim guy is also leftist. He is also communist. He also wears a Sheikh Gura hat. He also gets into terrorism. यानी all the checkpoints are hit. तो लग रहा था कि ये तो बिल्कुल यानी स्ट्रैटेजी के साथ बनाई हुई पिक्चर है एंड इट गॉट प्रमोटेड बाय द राइट विंग ऑब्वियसली एंड normal films will come on Kapil Sharma, they will come on Dance India Dance to promote themselves. This guy went on Sudarshan TV to promote his film. So you can imagine the kind of demographic they wanted to appeal to. But as soon as the movie came out, the same people started cancelling that movie. Imagine a movie called Hindutva getting cancelled. Why? Because apparently उसमें थोड़ा बहुत कुछ भाईचारे का बात भी किया हुआ है. I'm guessing towards the end there's some reconciliation or they say कि सबका respect करना चाहिए. They said नहीं, ये तो बात नहीं हुई थी अब. I have not seen the movie. Obviously, you can't pay me enough to watch that bullshit. But what I'm saying is that you cannot be just right wing. You have to buy into the entire mythology. Otherwise, they will cancel you also. Akshay Kumar gets cancelled from time to time. तो और क्या चाहिए? Even Captain Canada can get cancelled. तो आपका क्या chance है? See, in US, what happens is system is more matured. Also corrupt, but fuck that. It's more matured ideologically. So people will fight tooth and nail, but they will not go after each other. They will not put FIRs on each other. And even a Democrat can go to any red state and he can campaign, he can hold rallies, he can put his opinions forth. Ku Klux Klan is still around. Can you beat that? Because freedom of speech, First Amendment. So even people, general public amongst each other, they may not agree, but they keep the disagreement to purely debate terms. They don't let that get into more aspects of the personal life. But we are still new at this, and we've just been given 4G without, I guess, primary education. तो हम लोग तो मारपीट पे उतर आते हैं. तो ये सब dysfunctional wise, this interesting suggestion, this will not work in India. मानिक माना के साथ नहीं हो पाएगा वो भाई साहब. मैं ऑलरेडी पूछ चुका हूँ और ना बोल चुके हैं. वो ये सब में रुचि नहीं रखते. उनको सिर्फ स्टैंड अप करना, विच आई रिस्पेक्ट. सेम विद सुमित Anand, although we might be able to do a Sumit Anand episode soon. I'll tell you guys soon enough. Do you like Bill Burr? Of course, dude. Bill Burr amongst the best ever. भक्त बनर्जी मत बोलो ब्रो गुरुजी को. भक्त बनर्जी कहाँ से आ गया इसमें? मे बी आई मिस समथिंग. ओके, विशाल जाकिन डक स्टैनोप का है यूट्यूब पे पूरा पूरा स्पेशल लोगों ने डाला हुआ है. अगर नहीं मिल रहा तो मे बी टेकन इट आउट और समथिंग, बट यू कैन सर्च ऑन विमियो वगैरह. तो आप गूगल सर्च करो. फर्स्ट लुक एट द डिस्कोग्राफी एंड लुक एट द नेम्स ऑफ द स्पेशल्स and then you will find it somewhere or the other. I wouldn't want to encourage piracy, but अभी देखना है इंडिया में तो और कोई तरीका है नहीं. But do look it up. साहेब who never left. हाँ, वो तो प्रोपागेंडा ही है. मेरे ग्रुप तक भी आ गया वो तो. बट वो क्या है, सिर्फ यूट्यूब पे है कि इज इट अ फिल्म? यस, चंडीगढ़ फेस्टिवल में हम रहेंगे. दोनों दिन रहेंगे, सैटरडे एंड संडे. इफ एनी ऑफ यू आर देयर, डू कम. While we are at it, I'm doing a show in Dehradun tomorrow. So if you are in that city or around about, to come. If you have friends in Dehradun, tell them we need more people to fill up tomorrow's show. Dehradun show tomorrow. Next weekend, Bangalore and Hyderabad. I'll put the link of all my live shows up, and for all the cities I am doing till December का plan हो चुका है. So it is Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Delhi, Gurgaon. That's about it for now. I'm just pasting it in the comments. There you go. This is all the links to all the cities. If you are there, do come for a live event. What books do you read to get the wisdom? Prasad, thank you. This question comes almost every time. So there is a list of books, which I think I'll put it here only. Every time I tell people ki chat mein bhejenge. Let me just. I have a small list of books that I recommend to people. So it's actually
पुनीत
post on Instagram. Shirish, तुम हो गया?
हाँ आपका वीडियो बंद हो गया
अच्छा है. ओके सॉरी. एक लिंक है. I'll just paste it. There is a link of the post basically, which has some of the books which have changed my perspective on things. So while I think that different people need different books at different points in their life, this is what helped me. So with that caveat, I'll just share the link here. श्री देखो तो एक चलता है पे मैंने लिंक भेजा है, वो पेस्ट कर दोगे क्या चैट में? मेरे से हो नहीं रहा है. रुको, आ गया आ गया.
हाँ हाँ करता
Guys, I'm doing it right now. This is the link in the chat. This is a small post on Instagram. It has all the books that I would recommend. How is Sumananand in person? Is he very different? Sumananand is he's a very nice guy in person. Very nice to meet and talk to. Very chill. Let me put it that way. But also weird compared to the average person. Not person. The average comic also is kind of weird. But he's in his own world. What I like about him is that it doesn't get swayed by the current. You know, like इतने साल चले गए, इतने लोग आए गए कॉमेडी में, ये भाई अपने धुन में ही है. तो वो he doesn't play the game on social media. He doesn't even promote his own shows, which is very uh, self-flagellating in a way. But he feels कि वो भी मेरा काम नहीं है. मेरा काम है सिर्फ अच्छा और नया जोक लिखना, which is commendable. So he's very different, and hence the material you see from him is also very different. But consistency, thoda मुझे लगता है up and down. But again, he's taking risks. Basically, as an artist, he's taking a lot of risks, which you should respect. Why people are getting offended for everything? Because यार नौकरी नहीं है, कुछ करने को है नहीं. Then suddenly somebody comes and says कि ये देखो, ये है प्रॉब्लम, ये आपके कल्चर को बिगाड़ रहा है, तो लोग आते हैं मारने के लिए, क्योंकि टाइम बहुत है यार. तो टाइम नहीं होता तो देन इट वुड बी डिफरेंट. ऑफ कोर्स देयर इज एन एंटायर मशीनरी और प्रोपेगेंडा जो लोगों को गुस्सा दिलाते जा रहा है 24/7. तो इवन इफ यू आर एजुकेटेड पर्सन, एट सम पॉइंट आपका सटक जाएगा ना. बिकॉज जब भी आप न्यूज देखते हो आपको लगता है ये तो आदमी कितना चूतिया आदमी है जो बात कर रहा है, इसका बात आप कैसे मान सकते हो ना. लाइक लुक एट इट, जस्ट लुक्स रिडिकुलस, राइट? जस्ट साउंड्स ऑब्नॉक्सियस. But then that is me talking. No, I have the time and I have the privilege to analyze things. And for whatever reason, whatever my life has been so far, I can see through some of the bullshit. But other people you know who are otherwise very nice in person, they don't have the bandwidth, time-wise and intellectually, to just see through the bullshit. वो लोग मान लेते हैं ना. And just to put it simply, to quote, no, the Nazis themselves, lie if repeated 100 times becomes the truth. That's all it is. Most friendships are based on mutual ignorance. Never बोल रहे हैं. It's both funny and true. That's right. Most of at least what I do tends to go towards that, because I'm on a personal pursuit of the truths, and if it happens to be funny, becomes stand-up. Shubhankar Bole, would you say your humor and style of comedy largely observational, or would you prefer not to categorize? This we've gone through before. Categories are for the academicians and for the Wikipedia authors, so I don't get into it. आई थिंक ये कॉमिक्स ने लोगों का दिमाग खराब किया ना. एक राउंड होता है ऑब्जर्वेशनल, एक राउंड होता है ऐसा, एक होता है वैसा. इज जस्ट गुड कॉमेडी एंड बैड कॉमेडी इन माय बुक, नथिंग एल्स. बाकी सब इज ओके टू हैव कैटेगरीज, बट आई डोंट थिंक अबाउट इट आल्सो. Whatever comes in flow, I do it. No. Why Rajnish Kapoor vanished from stand-up scene? Any idea? Rajnish, He's prioritizing his mental well-being. I've not spoken to him for quite some time now. He's a great comic. Uh, Obviously अभी काफी उनका एज भी हो गया, but he he I think he has an anxiety of people, like, which is strange for a comic, but not the most comfortable in a crowd kind of a feeling. So he's just taking some time off for himself. I hope he comes back. Everybody likes him, and when he does, all the comics are there to support him in whatever way possible. Delhi, especially because he was part of the Delhi scene long back before, like, even Canvas was around, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I don't think we'll be hearing from him anytime soon. Saurav Ghosh. Oh yes, that episode is now it will be released. Now that I have a channel just for Beyond the Laughs, I have 3 4 episodes which are ready and they will be released in the next month or 2 months max. Akshay saying, like you as a guest, Cyrus says, yes, thank you. It's always fun to be there. See, Cyrus says is the one thing I do just for fun. Everything else, I have something to say, like a message. And even if Cyrus says, I have enough play to say whatever the fuck I want, but that is just for fun. And Cyrus, of course, is one of a kind. So it's always fun to be there. And me and him now go back quite some time. So we have a chemistry, or so to say. And many people find it difficult to work with Sal because he talks for me, keeps talking, and he'll talk over you, which goes against all the basics of podcasting. But it is still funny. But with me, we figured out a sort of a jugalbandi, so that works. With Vipul Goyal, yes, already I addressed that. होने वाला है, Jan तक हो जाएगा, maybe even before that. Yeah, Vipul is currently shooting season 3 of Humorously Yours, so he's busy with that. तो कल ही मुलाकात हुई थी शो के लिए. शो था विपुल का जो हमने ही प्रोड्यूस किया था, चलता है कॉमेडी ने. तो विल शेयर सम पिक्चर्स ऑफ द शो वेरी सून, है ना श्रीश? अब तुमको डाला नहीं फोटो कल का विपुल के शो का. ग्रेट शो इन मुंबई. तो होगा. इनफैक्ट विपुल ने खुद ही बोला मुझे कि करते हैं कभी तो बियॉन्ड द लाफ, इट विल बी अ गुड वन. वीडियो गया. ओके ओके, सॉरी सॉरी सॉरी. I think the camera ka USB keeps. Thank you for telling me. How do you see the short videos just making people? Shubham ने कहा है, yeah, I think he's trailed off, but what he means is कि what is the effect of short videos, dude? Obviously attention span किया जा रहा है और सबकी गांड लग रही है. What is happening is you are consuming a lot of different things but nothing in depth. So I think it is harmful, and only people it is helping are the social media platforms. तो सबको करना पड़ रहा है ना, सब लोग को. डॉक्टर लोग नाच रहे कोरोना में ये सब ये करके, बिकॉज अदरवाइज रीच नहीं मिलता है. तो इट इज अ वेरी डेंजरस थिंग एंड यू कैन हेल्प इट बिकॉज इकोनॉमिक्स is so clear on this. No, they want volumes. So you can only save your own sanity. That's all I keep saying. And this is true if you're a creator like me, or is it true even if you're a viewer like yourself? No, just stay away from the bullshit. Because क्या है कि आपको लगेगा कि हाँ ये मैं कुछ काम कर तो देख रहा हूँ, एडवाइस दे रहा है, ये दे रहा है, पर आपको इन्वेस्टमेंट एडवाइस कोई 1 मिनट में दे रहा है तो उसको थप्पड़ मारना चाहिए. बिकॉज 1 मिनट में आप ठीक से हिला भी नहीं सकते. तो मत कीजिए. ऑल एंटरटेनमेंट, एंड एंटरटेनमेंट के लिए बहुत बहुत कुछ है दुनिया में. ये सब मत देखिए. एंड दिस इज फॉर पीपल हु थिंक दैट डूइंग समथिंग ग्रेट, नो कि कुछ मैं सिखा इसमें से. अंकल वारिको ने कुछ सिखाया मेरे को. अंकल वारिको को सिर्फ अपना अकाउंट बढ़ाना है. और जो लोग सिर्फ नाच गाना देखते हैं उनको तो भी क्या ही बोलेंगे ना. ठीक है, एंटरटेनमेंट 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 तो ठीक है, बट बाकी मत देखो जितना हो सके तो, बिकॉज इट विल अफेक्ट योर ओवरऑल कॉग्निशन ऑल्सो. What you're not getting is over years, your overall cognitive ability is going to go down drastically because you just can't concentrate. Even I feel sometimes कि मेरे से पढ़ने को हो नहीं रहा काफी टाइम तक, because the your hand goes towards the phone, no, like almost compulsively. How sad is that, right? So if possible, stay away. I still do long videos on YouTube without reward, but I feel that's the only way to make a fucking good point, no? And if not now, at least people will discover later. That's the only hope. बट रील तो सबको करना ही पड़ेगा. एटलीस्ट हम नाच नहीं रहे हैं बाकियों की तरह. with Jaggi. Yeah, sure, man. I find him funny quite often, and of course, we do jokes on Jaggi all the time. A lot of what he says makes sense, and I feel now in today's world, you shouldn't hold anybody to such high standard, not even a self-proclaimed godman. No. ठीक है, if something what he says is hypocritical, if something what he says is politically motivated, still feel that a lot of his content is at least more helpful than dance reels. So why not? Obviously, he's a very well-read man. If nothing else, suppose you discount his spirituality, if you discount his intentions, he's still an extremely well-read man, well-traveled man. So I would love it, but I think वो होगा नहीं. I'm not nearly big enough, and by the time I get there, I think they'll tell him कि भाई इसके साथ मत करो. He's not right wing enough for you. Beer biceps, अरे रे, इसका नाम ले लिया आपने. Beer biceps is he's a conveyor belt. Okay, he's not a person. तो वो एकदम एक जोन में आ गया है जिसमें और करना है और आगे बढ़ना है और नहीं हिलाना है, तो फिर उसमें वो थोड़ा इट बिकम लाइक अ ड्रग, लाइक नो, बिकॉज you want to maximize everything. No? A lot of people who achieve success and they have the freedom to do whatever they want, sometimes they get trapped by their success itself, because they feel कि अभी इतना आ गया opportunity तो इसके पर और करते हैं. I saw once that guy has some 10-12 channels to what is crazy, and I think he also manages other artists. So he has a company that will manage other influencers, and I'm sure he's investing into businesses because he has the money. That's what Tanmay also does, by the way. But ठीक है, but I think he's just doing too much, and there is no thought behind it. Just it's a conveyor belt. but जो आया उसको ले लो सामने इंटरव्यू में, उसका काट के, और उसकी टीम बैठी है, वो एडिट करके कचरा फेंक रहे हैं. The problem is that the social media platforms reward frequency always, no matter how bad it is. If Dinchak Pooja comes back and she does one song a day, she will become bigger than Arijit Singh also. So it's just about frequency, no matter how bad it is. So that's what he is working on, and it's working because, like it or not, he's in your face, and he has covered so many topics now that no matter what you're leaning, there'll be one or two videos of his on your timeline. And I guess that is success. He's become a channel or a conglomerate of sorts. But is he a person? Doubtful. Sumit Anand, Ankit, हमने ये बात just की थी. I might be able to do it soon. Let's see. I'm hoping. Not sure. Dysfunctional बोल रहे, no personal attacks, please. क्या हो गया भाई? Did I miss something? Jose का पॉडकास्ट में यार मैं सुना नहीं. मैं बहुत पहले when I used to work, I used to listen to Kaan Masti, which was hilarious. Like him and Suresh Menon, I think one more person was there. Jose is funny in all formats. I don't follow very regularly, but maybe is it a new podcast? If there's something that you think I should look up, just drop the name of the podcast. I will look it up. Even Mudda speaks in bullet points, but not in reels. That's the point. Okay, Suvankar Mule is asking a bit philosophical, but do you think self-awareness has a heavy price to be paid? A good question. The answer is that it's not in your hands. Once you have seen the light, you cannot unsee it. So while on certain days you might be feeling that my friends are happier, no, because they still watch Big Boss and they think it is good entertainment. I wish I could do it, but do you really wish you could do it? No, you don't want to go back to that level. No. So once you reached here, you can't go back down. And when I do this, I don't mean that you're superior. It's just about progression in life. So it might feel like that on certain days, but eventually you will get to a point where you will be more content than happy. Happiness is a childish pursuit. Contentment is a more mature pursuit, and that's where only your self-awareness can help you. Thoughts on Ricky Gervais, of course, is great. I saw his new special for us, Shuru Kya, Super Nature, it's called. Great in the beginning. But I kind of lost him when he started talking about dogs and pets because a little too much. So that it just shows you that even somebody who puts up that sort of a tough persona, doesn't believe in anything, is still has a soft corner for pets. And pets, pets are an accident of evolution. They were never meant to be this cuddly creatures. And the thing is, I feel kind of sad for the pets because they don't even know what all emotions their owners are projecting onto them. They must be doing some harm to the, although cats don't look like they care, but still. Anyway, Ricky is great, and we need more people like him always. Also, if you've not seen, guys, Ricky Gervais, great comic from the UK. You may know him, if not as a comic, then as the boss from The Office UK. He has his own web series called Afterlife. Short episodes, short series, but it's beautiful. Do look it up any other time. I think it's on, yeah, it's on Netflix. Yeah. What do you think you are best at or talented, skilled at? Pankaj Kumar, good question. I ask myself a lot of times the same thing. I think writing is my primary skill. Primary because I've been doing it since college or even before that. Um, and because I like doing it still. Stand up came later, and I worked a lot on it, as you could clearly see on the work I put out. And I still keep working on it. I'm still preparing every day for my show next week, which is going to be shot in Bangalore. So primary is writing. So at one point when stand-up clips डाले, views भी आए, और इतने टिकट नहीं बिक रहे थे, and I was talking to YouTube and they said कि भाई कुछ और आपको डालना पड़ेगा. स्टैंड अप वीडियो साल के 2 या 3 आते हैं, उतने कम फ्रीक्वेंसी डालोगे तो चैनल नहीं चलेगा. तो अभी हर रोज तो नहीं डाल सकते, हर हफ्ते भी डालना बहुत मुश्किल है. तो आई आस्क्ड माय सेल्फ ऑब्जेक्टिवली कि और क्या हम कर सकते हैं ना, क्या कला है आपके अंदर कि आप दिखाओ औरों को और उनका टाइम वेस्ट करो. तो नहीं है यार अपने. आई कैन नॉट सिंग, आई कैन नॉट डांस टू सेव माई लाइफ, एंड आई कैन जस्ट टॉक डूड, दैट्स इट. And so I asked myself, if I had to do content for the heck of it, it should be something that even I like doing it, because then I'll be at least true to what I'm doing, and then by extension I will not feel guilty कि मैं लोगों का time waste कर रहा हूँ. Because if you really ask me, what most influencers are doing is they are wasting your fucking time. They've figured out how to be on your screen every day, and they will do anything it takes to be there. What it means is that if there's an influencer or even a comic who can give you a piece of content which is 10 points, he's only giving you content which is worth 2 points because he wants to do it every day, and that is just wasting your fucking time. He has hijacked a part of your screen, and by an extension he has hijacked a part of your life for his own profits. So I think it is almost a kind of corruption. So I asked myself, what am I good at and what do I like doing? I like having interesting conversations with people who are intelligent, uh, and I like writing. That's it. So hence, from that thought, Beyond the Laughs was perceived, and it is here now as a new channel. While I'm at it, guys, if you still not done it, please like the fucking stream so that it reaches a few more people, and share it with people who you think like long format. Also, if you've not already done it, please subscribe to this channel, because all the new episodes of Beyond the Laughs and maybe even more regular live streams will be coming on this channel. The first channel will only be stand up, largely only stand up from here on in. हर्ष सही ज्यादा एक ट्रू स्टेटमेंट दे दिया. See, corruption is inevitable, and by just being part of the market, you are also some party to it. But what you can do is at least reduce the stains on your hand. All money is blood money. It is just a matter of the shade. And the only difference between old money and new money is that new money has not had the time to wash the blood stains off his hands. So I'm under no qualms that no, you can lead the perfect ideological life. You can't. But at least having reached a certain level of self-awareness, don't at least be predatory on other people. And I think people who bombard you with bullshit content every day are predators. Because at least in a major part of the world, outright खून खराबा नहीं होता है. But to quote myself, Guruji often quotes himself also. Money is the continuation of violence through other means. The only reason why we don't have wars as frequently as we used to, overt wars at least, is because it is not profitable anymore. No? Profit is moved to attention spans. तो खून खराबाई एक तरीके से हमको उसमें जितना कम करना पड़े पार्टिसिपेट उतना अच्छा है. भगवान इज सेइंग बाबा यू आर ब्यूटीफुल. धन्यवाद. YouTube trending page. Oh, great question by Nikhil Goswami. YouTube trending page. If you ever have any doubts of where the country has reached, go to YouTube trending page. No matter what is happening, जिस दिन हमने चंद्रयान भी भेजा था, ऊपर गिर गया वो अलग बात है, पर एटलीस्ट भेजा हमने, उस दिन भी ट्रेंडिंग पेज पे कोई भोजपुरी गाना ही बज रहा था. And nothing wrong against with the language, don't get me wrong. I just meant कि some actor number बज रहा था. या तो ऐसा कोई आता है कि कोई कहाँ पे कुछ भूत दिख गया, कहाँ पे यूपी में एलियन दिख गया, यही सब आता है ट्रेंडिंग पेज पे चूतिया. तो in a way it is a very telling statement of where the mass market is, of where the mainstream is, and where the average voter is. And I am nowhere close to that. So I have made peace with the fact that I'll never get millions of views, but it's enough to reach like-minded people. And that's about it. That's all you really need. Of course, you need some money to get through life, but I'm figuring that out. But I'll never let that want for money make me compromise what I do with the art form. If अगर ये हो सकता है, अगर बहुत कमी पड़ गई पैसों की, नौकरी कर लेंगे. एटलीस्ट आई थिंक देयर इज मोर डिग्निटी इन दैट ना, कि मैं सोच समझ के खुद की गांड मरवा रहा हूँ पैसों के लिए. एटलीस्ट आई विल नॉट एक्ट लाइक आई एम डूइंग समथिंग क्रिएटिव. Andrew Schultz, yeah, he's funny, obviously. He's क्राउड वर्क करता है भाई भी, वो वहां का क्राउड वर्क स्पेशलिस्ट है. बट आई कैंट वॉच हिम बियॉन्ड द पॉइंट. थोड़ा little too in your face for my liking. But he's also used the YouTube frequency model to his benefit. Now it is hard to say whether Andrew Schools is actually that good or not.
पुनीत आपका वीडियो बंद हो गया.
Okay. क्या बोलता है शिरीष? एंड्रू स्कूल्स, डू यू लाइक हिम?
मतलब अभी रिसेंट टाइम्स में तो अच्छा नहीं आ रहा है मटेरियल कुछ, बट द स्टैंड अप ही यूज्ड टू पुट आउट फकिंग बहुत बात था. एक तो
यानी स्टैंड अप सेट्स की जो वो करता था इंटरेक्शन, वो वाला?
नहीं नहीं सर, प्रॉपर स्टैंड अप सेट्स बहुत मतलब.
ठीक है, इन दैट केस आई शुड मे बी लुक हिम अप मोर बिफोर आई कमेंट. बट द पॉइंट आई वाज ट्राइंग टू मेक इज दैट
पुनीत
स्कूल
आपका वीडियो नहीं है चालू.
वीडियो अच्छा नहीं है.
नहीं आ ही नहीं रहा, चालू नहीं.
ओके. The point I was trying to make is the schools is here purely through playing the frequency game. And imagine if you had not followed schools for the past 2 years and you're seeing him for the first time, and you compare a schools video to a Bill Burr video. Is there any comparison? I don't think there is. But ठीक है, भाई ने मेहनत बहुत, can't take anything away from him. So if you ask me honestly, I'm not a big fan, but I appreciate what he's doing. इनफेमस आप उसके स्पेशल का बात कर रहे हो? नहीं, मैं देखा नहीं. ओपनिंग देखा, ओपनिंग जबरदस्त था. Even talks about it on Joe Rogan, why he did it, what he did it, why he put it on YouTube and not on OTTs. And that kind of pushed me towards also shooting my own thing, because schools had the deals. It seemed that he had money in the bank, but he chose to go on YouTube because of censorship on OTTs. तो वो भी एक पॉइंट है. All right. Any more questions? Otherwise, we'll call it a night. Virgo Yetke is saying self-awareness and maturity also make you isolated from group and sometimes you feel lonely. Okay, fair enough. But you must know that any gains that you make in terms of your self-awareness always come through isolation. Or let me not say isolation, let me say solitude. Breakthroughs only come in solitude. And after a point, you will not even crave the company of a lot of people. Some people you would have seen they can never be by themselves. So उनको anxiety होता है. They want people, they want noise, they want something to be happening all the time, and they are probably running away from something. Uh, in your mind, you're well and truly alone. You always have been. You come alone, you go alone, right? So the earlier you learn to be happy with yourself, because if you learn to be happy on your own, or let's not say happy, just at peace on your own, you will be able to also enjoy the company of others in a new way. Like, otherwise, what happens in my estimate is that be it any relationship, romantic or otherwise, is always a transaction. You're trying to get something from the other person. No, it's either uh, their attention, their affection, their advice. I just want to be seen with somebody to look cool, so and so on. Whereas if a very self-aware person shares the company of others, it is simply because he likes it, and there is no ulterior motive. I hope you get my drift. And it's okay to feel that way. People want absolute answers. So when Shubhankar asked or when you asked, I get the feeling that those few days, when you're feeling down, you take that as evidence that it's better to be part of mainstream. No, you're still human, and it's okay to feel bad on a given day or even often. But the point is that you become a better person overall. And when you feel bad, you only blame yourself and not others for it. A therapist had told me once, a great line just stuck in my head. He said that you should never expect a very high standard of conduct even from your own self. Because if Buddha himself gets dropped into the battlefield, in the middle of a battlefield, he will not remain in the Buddha pose, right? He will be perturbed because it's a battlefield and he is still human. But Buddha was the first guy to say that I'm still human myself and you and I are the same person. It's just about awareness. So it's okay to be perturbed. It's okay to be affected. If you're affected by something, it means that you're still human. So don't let the few bad days get to you and just keep moving ahead. How fatal is career advice from wrong people? Uh, I think all career advice is loaded because no, they don't know you completely. You don't know yourself completely. Then how can the advice also be complete, right? Advice is like very फास्ट फूड लाइक जो चल रहा है अभी मार्केट में वो आपको बता दिया किसी ने आई सफर फ्रॉम द सेम थिंग बिकॉज आई हैड नो प्लान्स फॉर माई सेल्फ लाइक नो आई वांटेड टू आर्ट्स जो करने नहीं मिला पेरेंट्स ने डाल दिया साइंस में साइंस के बाद आगे का कोई प्लान था नहीं सब लोग चले गए मास्टर्स के लिए अब्रॉड आई हैड नो प्लान्स आई वाज लेफ्ट बिहाइंड आई वेस्टेड अ ईयर आफ्टर माय कॉलेज and I really had no direction and when you don't have plans of your own people will make those plans for you. So I went into sort of a tangent which took me 5-6 years to come back from, and now I'm finally back in the arts. Now that I'm back here, do I regret the years I spent in science and in business? No, because that also added to my understanding of the world. But I suffered through those 5-6 years were not the best, not nearly not the best in my life. So there are no right answers. The only answer is that once you reach the age of self-awareness, no looking back, no regrets, no complaints. Just fucking go ahead. हरीश सर सिंह भाई क्यों ईएमआई चालू है घर का क्या चला था ओके सॉरी हर्ष हर्ष बीर सिंह बोल रहे हैं व्हाई फेमस कॉमेडियंस इन इंडिया आर सेलिंग जोक्स ऑन बेसिस ऑफ देयर पर्सनालिटी एंड डूइंग लेस एफर्ट इन डेवलपिंग द जोक यार वही है पाथ ऑफ लीस्ट रेजिस्टेंस नो एक बार चल गया कुछ ट्रोप तो चल गया And it's fine. People want to follow a personality as such. Not even personality. Let me put it this way: we like people for their faults, for their shortcomings, not for their perfections. If a guy is perfect, you tend to hate him, isn't it? And what you call a personality is largely a collection of a person's flaws and him compensating for it. Does that make sense? So when people like a persona and they follow him a lot, they probably see something of themselves in him, probably. And that works. And then anything the person says is funny. Biswat said once very famously that comedy is not a man saying funny things. It's a funny man just saying things. So maybe those comedies they refer to have figured comedy out more than I have, could be. But I can't be any other way. I can only be this way. So which brings us to the next point. If you are completely in tune with yourself and you are doing the best you can on stage, does it still mean that it will result into commercial success at par? Of course not. Because suppose that you are at the peak of your game, mentally, physically, artistically, it might still hit a roadblock in that the person you are and the things you are saying, they just don't make sense to billions of people in the country. That is how far I am away from the trending page of YouTube. That's the answer. So often, I've said this before also, fame is a coincidence of the person you are matching the need of the market. That's all. So right person at the right time, uh, it works. So nothing, there's no right or wrong in it. It's just that you have to be sure why you're doing what you're doing. So if you're doing comedy for money and the fame, then fucking change your personality and then fit the market, do the reels, fucking dance, and get the success. Good for you. If you're doing comedy as just a practice of art and self-expression, then the numbers should be secondary. Otherwise, you will not be happy, even if you get the numbers. अमित वर्मा पॉडकास्ट एसएन आई एम नॉट श्योर डूड कौन है ये भाई साहब क्या बात करते हैं आई एम नॉट श्योर इफ इट इज रेलेवेंट इफ यू कुड एक्सप्लेन इट इट बी ग्रेट अमित वर्मा पॉडकास्ट मैंने नहीं सुना where do you get ideas from reading of course to reading observing I travel a lot and my eyes are always open I'm always observing so that and from people sure but more from books and from my own direct experience while traveling, especially. The other thing is that, like I said before, my exposure and experience has been multidisciplinary. So I was always inclined towards arts, but I also did science in college, and I did business later, meaning MBA. And I worked in corporate at the very top level for quite some time. And now I'm back in the arts. So when I see something, I can connect more points in my head, no? Because I know the scientific aspect of it, the psychological aspect of it to some extent, the historical aspect of it to some extent, and the business part of it. When you connect all of it, it can be overwhelming, but then your view on the matter will be more rounded and more well informed, more nuanced than most people, which will also mean that it will not go to the trending page. But that's where the ideas come from. Why more out of fear of personal biases? Rajat, because it's not profitable. Or fear, definitely fear. No, it has worked. A lot of people were doing earlier, and I was not saying that they are doing it as intensely as camera, but they were doing jokes, but they just decided to backtrack because price to pay was too high. That is how censorship works. Censorship has worked like a charm, and it could be a case study if somebody were to do a case study. अगर कोई है यहाँ पे स्टूडेंट ऑफ सोशियोलॉजी, आप कर लो थोड़ा रिसर्च, सब ऑनलाइन मिल जाएगा आपको. Overall political comedy is gone down. Even someone like Shyam Rangila, who was more mainstream and like more desi, got fucking pulled down because hard, and he was only doing mimicry and he was doing great job at it. Like I'm not a fan of mimicry, but what he was doing was talent. Clearly talent was there and he could do a lot of different characters. And also see, mimicry can be just repeating a certain dialogue and no certain mannerisms. But Shyam ka kaisa tha ki he was also writing good stuff, which made a lot of sense. And now he has joined up because he must have faced that kind of a backlash. He once did a piece on the petrol prices standing at a random petrol pump in Rajasthan, I think. They tracked down the petrol pump and they cancelled that guy's license. Can you imagine how vindictive things can get? So if comics have stopped doing it, you can't really blame them. Like these are just jokes at the end. And do you want to pay with your life and your safety? There have been कॉमिक जिनके घर तक फोन आए हैं, जिनका एड्रेस लीक हो गया है, उनके ऑफिस का एड्रेस लोग पब्लिक में डाल दे कि जाके मारो इसको यहाँ पे. उसके बाद फिर कोई क्यों करेगा ना. यू कांट ब्लेम देम. इट इज सैड बट अभी हु आर यू गोना ब्लेम. यू गोना ब्लेम द पब्लिक एक्चुअली. क्या करेगा, जनता तो चूतिया है पहले से. Where do you shop your clothes from, Pankaj Kumar? Like I said, I don't have a go-to place, but I keep traveling. तो कुछ दिख गया तो हम ले लेते हैं. And because I travel so extensively, I sometimes tend to have interesting stuff to wear, but nothing specific. So it's not nearly a priority for me, Pankaj Kumar. Uh, how do you see Osho? Despite being a wise person, someone who chose to speak facts, was he also another godman? What are your views on it? Good question. Almost everything Osho said is irrefutable. Almost everything. Uh, he was incisive, he was funny, he was captivating, and he did a lot of things on the ground also. Uh, I think where it went astray was the man tried to create a utopia, and it has never worked. And I don't know how, surprisingly, through all his study, and he read a lot, a lot. Um, he read almost everything there is to read, almost everything. And despite that, he still felt that it is possible to create a utopia, albeit a small one. I can't wrap my head around it. Like, and that's why it went wrong. I think an ideology or a spiritual pursuit only works while it is limited to yourself. That's it. The moment you try to change even one more person, there is conflict. So which then brings you to the point कि फिर हम भी जो भी कर रहे हैं क्यों ही कर रहे हैं. हम तो कॉमेडी कर रहे हैं, हमको मजा आता है करने में. And I am very careful not to impose my opinion and even my suggestions on people. So you would have noticed कि even when people ask for my book suggestions, I keep giving caveats, no, because I think you cannot impose your opinions. Or you should not, rather. You can, obviously, you can. No, the power works. I am not nearly the most popular comic also in the country, forget a public figure. But amongst a few people who follow me, I have some power over them. And I'm very aware of whether I'm using it correctly or not. Right? So that's where I come from. But Osho felt that he could change the world, and eventually he paid the price for it. And if you know, even he died in little hazy circumstances. In fact, if you go by the documentary on Netflix, then it seemed that he was trying to drug himself into a kind of a, I don't know if you call it euthanasia or what, but he was definitely trying something. And if you go by Eastern thought, a truly enlightened person can just leave his body at will. But our man had to take help. So maybe he was just well read. Like, maybe it was that. Um, but again, this is all just academic discussion. The man did a great job of putting so much knowledge from across the world and from throughout history into a very palatable format. In fact, he has books on Pythagoras too. Even I did not know the Pythagoras, besides being a mathematician, was also a philosopher. And उसके ऊपर 3 volume है ओशो का. He has some books on Zen masters, which again we are not very familiar with, right? So not only has he read a lot of these books and scriptures, he has read at such depth that he can do a discourse on that person or on that book. So very few people have been able to do that. I mean, I think only Krishnamurti does a body of work comes close, but he's a different person from Osho completely. And in his case, he said that he will not build an empire like Osho did, but he still has his foundation in his schools. Though not very big, but hai uska bhi foundations hai. So maybe a better guide. I'm sure a person who has read Krishnamurti with heart will lead a slightly better life. I'm not saying that they can not be assholes and they cannot be corrupt. Of course they can, and they probably are, but at least a little bit of improvement. So my thoughts overall on that question about Osho are that read Osho. Definitely read Osho, but then also be aware that eventually even he failed. Okay, I'm taking the last few questions. 12 बज गए हमको फ्लाइट लेना सुबह का. Amit Verma Shubham is telling me is a host of podcast Seen and Unseen. Clearly, person similar to your interest, particular person. Okay, if I have the time, I'll look it up. Amit Verma, is it? Okay, cool. If you can DM me on Instagram the link when I have the time, I'll get around to it. Uh, People from various fields about politics, economics, history, literature. Okay, so Joe Rogan. Okay, cool. I'll look it up. Illicit or serious men? Great question. Nafi is asking me about two great novels by Manu Joseph. Um, Very difficult. They're both very different. If I had to pick one, I'll pick Illicit Happiness of Other People. There's more heart in it. If I had to pick, but very difficult to pick. Serious Men also became a movie with Nawaz in it on Netflix. Not the best movie, but a good attempt because it's very difficult and a very different story to do. I hope someone tries to make. Actually, I don't hope. Let it be a book. Right? The writing is so beautiful, so nuanced, so layered that I think you can't really make something which is matching visually. So between the two, Illicit Happiness, and for other people who are not aware, Nafis is talking about two novels by Indian writer and columnist Manu Joseph. You can check him out on Insta as well, which I try kar raha hai Insta pe without success. He is also the guy who has written this web series called Decoupled on Netflix, which did quite well with Madhavan in it. So that's the guy. He has a great column in the Mint, but who is behind a paywall. If you can ever get your hands on a Mint, I think Tuesday ko aata hai, Wednesday ko aata hai. If not, then at least Twitter pe follow him. He's a very smart guy, very funny also. Views on World War III. नहीं होगा यार. Too much money to be made otherwise. But small skirmishes, no, they are very profitable because arms is still the biggest industry in the US. और आखिर इतना गोली बनाएगा तो खाएगा कौन? You have to keep creating enemies around the world. Very, very scary and very evil, but that's how the world has been. Ashish Chaudhary. Good question. How can one remain happy and still remain informed with what is happening in this world? I think if it is possible to switch off, you should. बिकॉज आप क्या ही उखाड़ लोगे. रोज का ट्रेंडिंग पे आप देखते हो हिंदू मुस्लिम चल रहा है, टीवी पे चल रहा है, आपके पर्सनल लाइफ पे सब कुछ इफेक्ट नहीं हो रहा है लार्जली, पर आपका खून खोलता है फिर भी. एंड आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट बोथ साइड्स. नो डजंट मैटर इफ यू हियर और देयर. इज इट वर्थ इट? और आपको लगता है कि आप समाज सुधारोगे इसमें पार्टिसिपेट करके, देन यू आर रियली मिस्टेकन. यू आर ओनली अ पॉन इन अ पॉलिटिकल गेम. Who makes a difference on the ground? Administrators. No, IAS officers जो थोड़ा बहुत काम कर पाते हैं despite the politicians' interference, and who are at some level still not corrupt, they can make a difference. Activists make a difference on the ground, and even in a small way. Suppose if you are an activist or a social worker working in a small school, in a small district, in a small corner of the country, at least you have direct impact on the life of 5 children. How many of us can say that for ourselves? Nobody. And this is after years of posting shit on Twitter. So I think it is possible to switch off and live a happy life. You switch Twitter off for the majority, all the problems vanish. Just go about trying to live a peaceful life. But on the contrary, if you're involved, if you're following, it will do things to you know because we are all human, most of us at least, except the psychopaths who are at the top, and things affect you. Whether you're left or right, you think whatever you see on the screen is not affecting you. It is affecting you in a very profound way. You see how you get triggered. You see one line which is negative or which is attacking something that you believe in. आपका literally खून खोलता है ना. So with that effect that it is having on you, you still think you can be a happy person. You can't. And there are entire industry dedicated to grabbing you by the walls. अभी वीडियो में आता है, मीम बन के आता है, बीच में सबटाइटल्स आता है, टेक्स्ट आता है, क्या क्या आता है. All of that comes just so that you get shaken up, right? So why subject yourself to all of that bullshit? Real life is within the body. बाकी बाहर का सब entertainment है, उसको सबको switch off कर दो. And if you're still alive and healthy, it's a great life. So you have to simplify life by cutting out all the external bullshit. हमारा अभी पूरा पेशा इस पर डिपेंड करता है तो साला हम स्विच ऑफ नहीं कर पाते. बट आई रियली विश आई कैन समटाइम्स. तो it's not possible completely to be very aware of what is happening and then also be happy because of the internet. No, even if one man gets shot in Dallas, you get the news about it. Why is it required? No, your mind is not built evolutionarily to take in that much stimulus every day, right? You're just supposed to be concerned with your own tribe who are around you and उसका gossip. चलो उसके beyond आपको जो पूरा bombardment आ रहा है पूरे दुनिया का, ये आपको पागल बना रहा है. Okay, last few questions. Do you believe in enlightenment? Yuji Krishna didn't. Do people need to learn something new or unlearn something? It's a difficult thing to even attempt to answer. No, how do you know if it even exists? ना आपने से सुना है लोगों का. तो I also agree with the point that a lot of wise people say that if you chase enlightenment, you'll never get it. Right? It'll just dawn on you one day beneath a tree somewhere, which is what happened to UG also, by the way. It just happened. So it's kind of a mental gymnastic that you're chasing it but still not chasing it. No? And that's what Zen is all about, right? But again, I feel कि पढ़ के कैसे होगा? तो forget UG, even JD himself said that if it has to happen, it'll happen right here, right now. You know, his most famous one-liner is that truth is a pathless land. So it's not like you're at point A and truth is at point B and you will cover the distance with meditation or with some study. ऐसा नहीं होता है. So which is self-evidently true, but then also disappointing. And what happens to people like us, normal people? How will they get to enlightenment? But then the point is that should you aspire to enlightenment as if it was one more medal to be had on a Pokemon game? No. So I don't have the answers to that question. It's a good question, but there are no answers. I think just go about living a aware life and don't hurt people consciously as far as possible. That's all. If I had to boil down things to its simplest, no? You will of course hurt people. It is inevitable. You cannot stay in society without hurting people. It's just the way things are. But don't do it consciously as far as possible and maintain your own sanity. That should be the first concern. If you remain sane as a person, you're already doing your bit for society. बाकियों को चेंज करने के पीछे भागने की जरूरत नहीं है. Just make sure this is sane. That's all. Ashish is coming from a show on 26. Great. Thank you, Ashish. Hope to see you there. Although I'm not sure I'll be able to talk to people after the show because there are 2 shows. But thank you. And also do tell people, again, before I close, if you are in Bangalore, any of you, do come for my shows on 26th. I'm recording my entire show 26th in Bangalore. Then there's a show on 27th in Hyderabad. That's next Sunday. Tomorrow, Dehradun. and Saturday, Sunday, Chandigarh. That's about it. Uh, Shubham, thank you for doing these lives. Thank you, Shubham. Shubham says you are amongst the few comics who is connected with your audience in the real sense. Take our questions. As far as possible, of course, this is it's an ask on my time and my energy, but I'm glad to do it. Actually, talking this way, uh, you know, distance play over the camera is kind of draining, but it's a good way to connect with a lot of people, in different parts of the world. So I will do it more regularly. I hope to at least. And Shubham, you couldn't go for Veer show. Come for mine in Bangalore on 26th. Um, गुजराती मुस्लिम इश्यूज क्या है बताइए भाई मयूर सवाल है हमको आई थिंक आई एम मिसिंग समथिंग decouple the rip off of Curb Enthusiasm maybe style wise पर स्टोरी तो वो है ना उसका डिवोर्स का स्टोरी है उसका I saw it. It was funny in parts, but overall it felt little made up. Again, I didn't see enough to give you a full review. Any plans to web series or movie? एक है script पर हमारे पास time नहीं है उसको chase करने का. Maybe next. I'm hoping next year. The script that I written with a friend of mine for quite some time now, but हमारा tour ही खत्म नहीं हो रहा है. My tour was a never-ending tour, and it's not ending for real. तो कर नहीं पा रहे. Maybe next year. Shubham has he's already seen all the 3 shows. अरे ऐसा कोई बात देखा है तो कोई बात नहीं but if you do come I'm sure you'll find something new in the show and I'm gonna give it my absolute fucking best. So if you are free, do come or send friends or people you know. Link is already been shared. It's in the description as well. Thanks a lot, Pankaj. Good night, guys. I hope to see you guys again next time. Uh, just the final request: like the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The new episode of Beyond the Last is going to be coming on this channel next week, and new stand-up on my original channel, which you guys know already. It's called Punit Pania. That's about it. Thank you, fellow seekers, for being here. Always fun to connect. Pratish said Karunesh wala channel अच्छा लगा hot topic. Yeah, Karunesh was very good, very smooth, and very surprising in how forthcoming he was. I'm happy for him, whatever he's doing. वो पिज़्ज़ा विज़्ज़ा बेच रहा है, but I'm still happy for him. Thank you. Good night. See you soon. Be kind.